Okay, so if you know me in the room, there's two things that you may need to know about me if you don't. Number one is I'm extremely honest, probably too honest from time to time about things, so I goofed today. So I'll go ahead and let you know that. Secondly, if it weren't for my assistant in my office, Sandra Hastings, I would never get anything done on a schedule. I am constantly telling friends that are saying, let's get together for lunch. Okay, call Sandra at the office. Well, I did not turn today over to Sandra, and hence we don't have a speaker, because I am the one that got Anthony Jackson, the CEO of Health South Rehabilitation. And he was supposed to be here today, and I did not follow up because I didn't give it to Sandra to put it on my calendar, so I apologize. And when Sheriff Lott came in the room today, I said, oh, how lucky, the sheriff's here, and not realizing that I was supposed to be the one that had the speaker. So thank you, Sheriff Lott, and as I promised him, he will never have trouble with either one of my sons, ever. Thank you. He's going to give us a community update.
The rest of that story is that George Crow came over and whispered in my ear and said, we need you. I said, what do you need? He said, we need a speaker. Nobody's here today, and you got what we need in a speaker. I said, well, hey, I'm George. That makes you feel good. What is it? I said, well, you're here, and you don't cost anything, so thank you. My table voted. I asked them, what y'all want me to speak about? And they voted to tell some funny stories about some stuff, and I'll tell some serious stuff, but I guess I'll tell a couple funny stories. One of them has to do with Rotary. We rang the bell for Salvation Army at Walmart. And I had this Saturday duty one day, and I can't remember who it was, but we're there, we're ringing the bell, doing a job, and I see this young man come across the parking lot, and he kind of got my attention because he was a little bit overweight. Well, he was fat. Okay, he was just big. He kind of got my attention. He just walked by us, didn't pay attention to us at all, didn't acknowledge, just went in the store. Probably 10 minutes later, he walked back out, and he stops. And he says, I want to give some money. I said, okay. Well, he reaches in his pocket. Well, his pants are a little tight, and he's having problems getting his money out. And as he comes out with his money, his bag of dope comes out at the same time, flies through the air, and it lands right between my legs. And he's standing there looking at me. And if you ever, literally his face just went to his feet at that point. And he said, I'm in trouble. I said, well, what's happening? So we walked to my car. I usually don't cut people break, but since that young man wanted to give money to Salvation Army, he's the only one I've ever let go when he had dope on him. So
What happened to the dope?
WIS had a camera that day, so I made sure we turned it into evidence. A couple more of them all involve drugs, so I'll have to tell you these stories too. I was looking for a house, and those who know Barbara Wyatt has worked on my campaign, and it's a close friend, but she's a real estate agent, and so she's helping me find a house. So I got one for you, I got you a good one, it's a perfect one, it's in Spring Valley, we need to go look at it. She said, I've already got everything arranged, let's go. So wife and I would go over there and we meet her, and I said, now, does people know we're coming? Yeah, they know you're coming. They didn't get a whole lot of advance notice, but they're not in the house, so let's go in. We go in the house, as soon as she opens the door, boom, just a cloud of marijuana just hits me in the face. I said, Barb, you sure you need to show me this house? Oh, yeah. So we walk into the living room, and evidently they left in such a hurry. Their tray of dope, this pot, was still sitting there. The joint was still smoking. I looked at Barb and I said, nah, I don't think this house is going to make it. So we gather up all the drugs. I leave my card there. And I leave, and they got a visit later, so anyway, we didn't buy that house. Another one. This is back before 5 Points was dangerous and you could actually go to eat. And we're at Harper's, we're eating one night, and it's a Friday night, get through eating, come out to Harper's, and it's my wife and I, and probably another couple was with us, and we're walking down the street, go to the car, and a group of USC students, real bright ones. I don't think they were in the engineering school yet. But just one of them hollered, anybody got any pot? Raised my hand. So I walked up, what are you talking about, pots and pans? He said, no man, you got any pot to sell? I said, he said, I need some. I said, yeah, I got some. I said, so come on. So we're kind of walking ahead, and his two buddies are behind us. And his two buddies are going, so they recognize him. And they're waving their hands going crazy. So I look at him and say, how do I know you're not a cop? I said, man, I'm not a cop. So how do I know? I said, give me your driver's license. Let me see your driver's license. He pulls his driver's license out and he hands it to me. I look at it, okay. I said, here, let me show you my driver's license. So I pull mine out and pull my badge out. you need to go on back to your dorm. Somebody will call you tomorrow. We need to have a little talk about that. So crooks make it easy for us. Now, Table also wanted to know a story about why I became a cop. And the reason I'm a cop is because I got arrested for being stupid one time. Just before my senior year, myself, a couple of my friends got bored, so we decided, well, let's go have fun. So the girl that was with us, we raided her refrigerator and we got a bunch of eggs. So we decided we'd go egg cars, but we said, let's do something special. Let's egg police cars. So this is when I-20 had been finished, but it wasn't opened up. So we're up on top of the bridge and the cars are going below us, and so we're waiting. So here comes, of course, police cars. So we all throw the eggs. Of course, they miss. I hit the car. Well, we jump in our car. We go down the interstate. This is closed. Well, we look on the other side, and here's another car mirroring us, and I'm going, this is not going to be well. Something bad's going to happen. Well, it didn't take long. Behind us, here comes all the blue lights. We stop, get out, hands up, all that stuff. We're handcuffed and all, and they're talking about, we're all going to, I said, none of us has thrown any eggs. Well, they put the girl in one car, put me and the two guys, my buddies, my best buddies. These are my best buddies. Put us in the back of the other car, and I'm in the middle. Well, they come back and say, she's told us everything. Well, I knew this girl. She wouldn't have said nothing. So I said, we still didn't do it. So they said, all right, if you'll tell us who did it, we'll let the other ones go home. Well, both my buddies on each side at the same time turned and looked at me and said, we'll help you get out of jail. So we ended up, and then I had to go home and tell my parents, and I washed lots of police cars. But it also instilled in me just the impact they had on my life, on how, what they said was, you could have killed somebody throwing those eggs. And I'm going, how? And they said, and the cop who locked us up was actually used to take me to church on Sunday when my daddy was working, so I know him well. He said, what if that had been your grandparents and they were riding down the road and you hit his windshield and your granddaddy ran off the road, hit a tree and got killed? So we never thought about that. And that stayed with me, and when I got to college and decided exactly what I want to do, that always came back to that story. So that's one of the reasons why I'm a cop. But there's no honor among thieves. And to follow up on that is something that happened last week, where we had 5 of our deputies that I had to arrest. And I apologize for that. We had 5 deputies that betrayed my trust, betrayed the trust of the community by cheating on their income tax knowingly. And, they cheated because they allowed this lady, to fill out their income taxes, and they were getting more money than what they were due. And the thing that they didn't realize was that she had the checks coming to her first, so if they were getting a $20,000 refund, she was giving them $1,000, and she was keeping $19,000. So again, there's no honor among thieves, but it's with 900 people, you're going to have something like that sometimes. And what we've made a policy, and it's my policy, is that we're going to do something. If we find somebody amongst our group that's crossed that line, then they're no different than anybody else. No different than an armed robber or drug dealer that we encounter. They're going to be arrested, they're going to be prosecuted, and we're going to do all that we can to make sure that they never carry a badge. But I apologize for having people like that who, didn't think and thought that they could get away with it. And I've had some deputies say, well, what did they do? They just stole from IRS. I said, well, who was IRS? Where does that money come from? And then they go, yeah, that's our money. You lock them up. So, when they think about it, but there's no place in law enforcement for anybody like that. It's like being a little bit of pregnant. There's no such thing. There's not a little bit of being a good guy one day and a little bit of bad sometimes. You're either good all the time or you're not. And we want only people that are good. I've been asked, well, how did that hurt your operations? It didn't hurt us a bit. We didn't miss a beat. We actually have a waiting list of people that are waiting to come to work at the Sheriff's Department. So if somebody retires or somebody gets arrested and fired, we just call the next one on the list and come in. Our best recruiting is the people that we have. It's the Rose and it's the Mantas and those who work for us. That's my recruiting. They're the ones who represent us. And I told everybody in the department last week that a lot of people were worried about the 5 and how it was going to impact us. And I said, it's just a little bump in the road. We've already went over that bump and we've moved forward. That those 5 don't represent this department. They don't define the Sheriff's Department. Who defines the Sheriff's Department is everybody else who does good every single day. And that's who defines what we are. And as I travel the world and go to other countries and work with other agencies, I see more and more just how good our people are and how people respect what we do. Raul and I went to Puerto Rico a month ago. We were invited to go to Puerto Rico and address some of the issues that they've got there. They've got lots of challenges there. Puerto Rico has the second largest police force of any United States, anywhere in the United States, and Puerto Rico is considered the United States. New York has number 1, Puerto Rico has number 2. They have 17,000 cops. Probably 16,000 of them are crooks. And, literally, they have a problem. And we went there and we made an impact on things that we talked about them doing, but what it turned into was, and we didn't go over that, a recruiting trip. We've already had one that's already come over now, and she's applied. We got 3 or 4 weeks. We're probably going to end up with half the Puerto Rican police force over there. But it's, our department reflects the community that we serve. If you look at, we have a very diverse community. Look in this room, how diverse we have here. Our department represents that also. To me, that's very important, that your agency has to represent the people that you serve. You have to be able to work with everybody. I'm not a sheriff for just a certain group. I'm not a Democrat sheriff, I'm not a Republican sheriff, I'm not a white sheriff. I'm the sheriff, and we're the sheriff's department. We have to represent everybody in our community and provide them the services. And that's what we've built on for the last 17 years, and that's what we're going to continue to build on. And people talk about what's happened out in Ferguson, Missouri, and say, well, could that happen here? I don't think so. I don't think it would happen here because the community wouldn't allow it to happen. The relationship that we've built with the community is one of trust and one that we know each other. And what you've seen in Ferguson, you didn't see that. One, you didn't see a department that represented the community. You didn't see a department that knew the community. The community didn't know the Ferguson Police Department. So that shooting was just the spark that really ignited a fire that had been burning a long time. And it took a long time for it to get to that point. It's going to take a long time for them to recover from that. We don't have that here. We have a great working relationship with the community, with all the communities here. They trust us. They know if we say something that we're going to tell the truth. It's good or bad. If somebody does something bad like those 5 that did last week, the people in the community trust that we're going to lock them up, and I'm going to stand up and say I'm sorry, and we're going to do what we can to learn from it. And I think we've built that relationship so Ferguson would never happen. Ferguson only happens when the community doesn't trust law enforcement, doesn't know law enforcement. And we have that here. We have that trust. So when something does happen here, you'll see me up front real quick. If it's good or if it's bad, I'm going to talk about it. We're going to let the community know. We don't keep secrets. We don't keep any secrets. It's whatever it is. We put it out, we let people know, we let the community know. And I think by doing that, you build that relationship that will keep a Ferguson from happening here. People say, when am I ever going to quit? I don't know. I love this. I love doing this every day. I love being part of this Rotary Club. I love coming today, and this club is handing me a stack of tickets for 40 senior citizens that we're going to bring Saturday morning to get them out to eat. This is why I'm in Rotary Club, and this Rotary Club right here, and Paula Matthews and I have talked about it. When I got elected sheriff, every Rotary Club in Columbia recruited me and tried to get me to go to it. But this Rotary Club was the one that when I was running for election, when Paula was the president, that had me and my opponent, the only place that we got to stand together and people got to compare us, and I never forgot that. And that's why I remember this club, and I'm proud to be because of this here. What you're doing with pancake thing, where you're giving the money to those who need it in our community, you're reaching out to young people, but we do good things, and that's what Rotary is about. And it's no different. The mission of the Rotary Club is no mission different than the mission of the Sheriff's Department. We're all about helping people, particularly those who need the help the most. So that's why I'm proud to be the sheriff, and I'm proud to be a member of the Spring Valley Rotary Club. Thank you.
Well, this should be real good. Since I didn't know I was doing it today. Vocational. I don't remember the exact year that I joined the club, but I remember what's the superintendent that used to be here? Steve Hefner. Steve Hefner brought me in. Of course, when I say John, I mentioned John because John was a member of another club, but he said, Marion, you need to become part of Rotary. And he got me in touch with Steve, and Steve brought me in. I enjoy Rotary. One thing that I noticed over the years, that wow, seemed like everybody in the Spring Valley Rotary have a lot of class. And that has been the biggest thing for me. To tell you a little bit about myself, of course I'm married, my wife Sylvia, and you know, I go around and introduce myself. I'm Marion Hanna, Sylvia's Hanna husband, you know, so I can get in or recognized. I have one son. I have a granddaughter that goes to Eastwood, and because my granddaughter, boy, she makes me proud. She played 3 sports. She just finished with golf, and in their class, they were undefeated in golf this year. Missed the state by 3 strokes, and now she's playing basketball. She played basketball and she played softball, and all of that's good, but the best thing I like about all of that, you know, my granddaughter never made a B. She do 3 sports and still made straight A's so far. As all you know, I'm a State Farm agent, been a State Farm agent for about 30 years now. February, about 30 years. I guess you can say that's been a kind of successful role. Before then, I worked with Pitney Bowes. Pitney Bowes are the people who make the postage machine. I was the first minority in the whole southeast region to work for Pitney Bowes. At the time when I got hired in 1976, they didn't think a minority could make it in South Carolina. And I promised the guy, give me the job and I'll be your top salesman. And I was salesman of the year the first year, and went on and became got promoted to sales manager, made sales manager 4 years in a row. And then State Farm started trying to hire me as an agent. But I didn't have enough sense to take the job right away. I turned it down a couple of times, because I really said, I don't want to sell no insurance. Shoot, I got a good job. You know, but I looked into it. I was out one day and I called on an agent in Charlie Nash. And Charlie said, Marion Hanna, are you the same guy that they're trying to hire? And you keep turning the job down? I said, yeah, come on in my office. And I went in his office, he showed me this paycheck, and I couldn't get back to Columbia quick enough. Things that I do with the Rotary Club. I don't do enough, I know that. I want to do more, but I don't do enough. The biggest thing I do right now is the dictionary project. And I have to thank the members. When I took over the project, most of the money that, you know, had to come out of the budget of the Rotary Club. And I decided to go around and just ask members to, you know, contribute, to make a donation for the dictionary project. And nobody I asked said no. And so we completely fund the dictionary program from, you know, the members itself, and don't have to go into the budget. And I thought that was a good thing. And I always enjoy delivering those dictionary, because you see the face of the kid. And then some people say, well, you know, dictionary, you get everything on the with your smartphone and the computer. But, you know, those kids really, really like it when we deliver those dictionaries. One other thing I want to say about the success of my business, I always wanted to be on the top of whatever I've done, and all because of my grandmother. My grandmother used to instill into me, you are Hanna. You the great-grandson of Bosway Hanna. You're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. And I went through life believing what she said. My great-grandfather, Bosway Hanna, was the first sheriff after slavery in Williamsburg County. And then he moved on to be postmaster general, and I don't know, I just went through life and believing that, wow, I'm a Hanna, I'm supposed to be able to do it, because my grandmother said so. And, and really, I still kind of follow that. And I passed that on to my granddaughter, because she came home from school one day. She said, Grandpa, you know, the kids in school can use that word can't, but if you're a Hanna, you can't use it. And I said, that's right. and I guess that's why she's doing so well. And since I wasn't prepared to talk much, I think that's all I got to say today.